What a way to start a video, but hello and welcome. Title, as always, continuing with Peak. So, before I do get started, um, first of all, in Chapter 3 at all, I don't know if there was an egg to collect at all, because there was no hint of anything, because to get the eggs in Chapters 1 and 2, you have to find a room that you go back and forth, and there's a chance that it'll send you to the room between, you'll collect an egg. So I don't know if there was anything like that for Chapter 3, so I apologize. That's probably the only thing I'll miss, and it'll probably be the only reason why, if something happens with the egg in Chapter 4, and because I missed the one in Chapter 3, something happens and it is what it is. Because honestly, I guess I could look it up, but at the same time, it's a bit too late now. I already completed the save files and whatever, so yeah. I mean, this is a peak game, bro. Like, we're talking about the game where you can fight a water cooler. And somehow when you fight in genocide, well, or doing a fighting route, I say genocide because you can't technically kill anything, the water cooler runs away. How the fuck does a water cooler run away? Or it specifically attack you? But that's how you know it's a peak game, when you can fight a water cooler. But anyways, another thing I want to say before we continue. I did say I was going to show some clips. So all these is the part of the finale. Yes, I had to edit the final part. But I did say I would include some clips in Snowgrave. But already, I click on the video, and you hear that? That's the sound of me being pissed off. But also, no audio. But it was basically this. So this cutscene I talked about in the finale, if it would be different in Snowgrave, since you technically would have a spam ton item in your inventory, it is practically the same thing. And I assume it's the same thing if, well, not the same thing as the with spam ton, but it's just, I'm assuming if you don't have spam ton, it'll be the same. But I had spam ton, but I had the puppet scarf, so, or I'm not sure it's because I had the weapon, but in Snowgrave, you can only get the weapon because you kill him by attacking him. So it's practically the same, but you can collect it though, so, but I don't think it does anything. You can't sell it, you can't do anything. So I don't know, but yeah, I only have this in Snowgrave. So it was on my Snowgrave play file, save file, fighting save file, whatever. So you see, I showed I have the puppet scarf, I have the weapon, I have spam ton on me technically, but the cutscene did not have. So, and it also was the final boss that I did the night on Snow, and the attack, and but it also had no audio. But it was the same thing. I thought it would be different. It's exactly the same. And I somehow beat him with just one health left. And I'm pretty sure that was like on my first attempt on my Snowgrave, my fighting save file. But nothing else differently happened, so yeah. Man, I don't really know what else to say. Other than, yeah. Not sure how long this chapter will be. As you can see, I am playing this really late at 4 p.m. on June 5th. So I'm not playing this the same day. I'm playing this next day, a little later. And it kind of sucks because I have to work early the next day. So I think I could probably play for about a couple hours, which is fine because each part is only going to be an hour. But yeah, man, that final boss fight was like really hard though. And if you're wondering why I also showed it two times, like towards the beginning and towards the end, towards the beginning was my actual first couple attempts. And obviously I died miserably. But that was my first playthrough. In the end is when I actually fought him and beat him when I showed him the second time in the finale. So I was thinking of not doing it, but I searched it up just in case you get anything. Because honestly, if you got absolutely nothing for fighting him or outlasting him, then I wouldn't have been bothered. Even if it's for like a funny or different cutscene, I would not have been bothered. But no, you actually do get something. You get a weapon and shadow crystal. Even though it's funny because you technically don't kill him, but you damage him and you get shadow crystal. So it's a bit interesting that way. You know? And you know, his special attack is very similar to a certain goat. But you know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but yeah. And kind of his face looks like the diamond. I'm thinking like, well, I don't know. There was an NPC that looked like a diamond in chapter one, but it was an NPC. You couldn't fight him or anything. So, I mean, I don't think they're similar at all. But you know, it kind of looked like a deer almost too as well. Kind of had antlers. So that's interesting. Interesting. But who knows? It's probably just a monster. Well, not an actual monster, just like a literal a god, I guess. But yeah, as I said in the finale of chapter 3, I'm gonna make each part around an hour to an hour and a half. Because I can't be bothered with 2 hours. I don't know how long chapter 4 is gonna be, but we'll see, I guess. But it might not be as long that long as well. But I thought supposedly chapters 3 and 4 were supposed to be both longer than chapter 1 and 2 combined. But I don't know. I mean, in a way, chapter 3 was. I mean, it definitely feels longer than chapter 1, I'll say that. But longer than chapter 2, no. So we'll just have to see how long chapter 4 is. But yeah, if it's just as long as about chapter 3, if they're about the same length, then yeah, I guess that's that. But yeah, at the same time though, I am not ready. But that ending still messed me up, bruh. I am not ready to see what happens next. I mean, I am, but at the same time, I'm not. I mean, I'm like really tired. I've been playing this game all day. That boss fight took me like 3 hours to learn all the patterns and stuff. But even then, I mean, I had a major skill issue as well. So that doesn't help. Um, but enough yapping though. Make sure my audio's working. You know, in case that doesn't happen with the clips. So yeah, everything's fine. Um, as per usual, I'll talk to you guys again in the finale. And yeah, and when I finish chapters 3 and 4, uh, like I said, I'm not sure when I'll do a commentary playthrough. Maybe not until the next couple months because I can't be bothered. Or maybe after I finish Doom: The Dark Ages. Like I said, because we're playing that after we finish Deltarune. But we'll see, I guess. Oh man. Uh, oh my god. Can't believe it's actually 4 p.m. though. That took me all day. Well, I did have to edit the finale again. And again, I woke up at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. because was Like, I think I fought the boss around like 10 a.m. to like 2 a.m. Well, not 2 a.m., 1:30 a.m. So again, about 3 hours, 2 hours. But then as soon as I woke up, I beat him in like a couple attempts. So yeah. So I would have showed a bit more attempts, but as you already saw the videos with 2 hours already, so I had to do some cutting. So I only showed him in one attempt, but trust me, you just don't want me to see me die over and over. I did with the other boss fight with the Link, or I guess I don't know what to call that boss. He literally doesn't have a name or nothing. I guess just call him the Black Ghost or something that uses the I don't know. But anyways, I think I'm done yapping. And with that, let's get started. I'm not ready, bro. But next thing you know, like in that basement that they showed towards the end that was opening, you're gonna go inside and like they're having a tea party. Yo, want some tea, sis? I mean, that still doesn't explain why you destroyed my fucking TV. What about my TV, bitch? You destroyed my TV. How could you? But anyway, so I mean, seriously, like these games seem so serious at times, then so unserious sometimes. So, but I don't know. This seems very serious, but I don't know. This next thing you know, it's gonna flip the switch and be like, oh well, all ends that all what's the saying? All ends well that ends well. I don't know what the saying goes, but yeah. Anyways, okay, I'm for real done this time. And with that, let's get started with Deltarune Chapter 4. Oh, and like I said, I said this in the finale too yesterday, but I'm just going to repeat myself again. I'm going to play on the save file that I actually beat the knight on. I'm not going to do it on the save file where I didn't. So, yeah. We'll see if that has any consequence or not, or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, with that, let's finally, for real, get started this time with Deltarune Chapter 4.